All right, we are very happy that you are here at the half at 66-65. Listen, there's no LeBron James, and the Lakers come out and score 40 in the first quarter. The Kings defense was absolutely horrible. Their three-point shooting is not very good. They do have the lead. Jerry, it has been a wild 24 hours or so. You've been through this in every single aspect. You've been on both sides of the fence. You've seen a lot of dysfunction with the Kings. Your thoughts on what went down yesterday?
Well, I don't think there's anything to prepare you for it. I mean, I was stunned. I assumed that to kind of underachieve, which it had, that decision of that sort might be made after the season or at the earliest All-Star game or something like that. Because but anyway, it was done, and it's early in the season, and the interim situation is always tough. I always think that usually, and I've been beneficiaries both ways too, is that once usually the teams will always play well for a few games
Yes.
after the coaching change because players don't then want to make sure that you don't think it was them type thing. And
you know that very well, Jerry. You know that very well.
And I've seen it through the years in the league, in 100 different circumstances similar. So the real test will be obviously how they look, continue play as the season goes on. But in this
my experience, Jerry, and I'm sure I'm speaking for you, coaching changes in the middle of the season rarely make any difference.
Yeah, I mean, basically what happens at best, you might win a slight better percentage. I always felt like that was the only thing I could hang my hat on. My percentage was better than the guys I replaced, but it still wasn't very good.
Jerry, do you recall a team making a coaching change and the interim coach is the fourth guy down on the bench?
No, I don't believe that's ever happened to my knowledge. I mean, now
it's unbelievable to me.
It's a lot of knowledge.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's so rare because just in recent times do we have a whole bunch of coaches.
Yeah, sure, very true.
But no. To answer your question, I don't. It's usually, I'm sure if Jordi Fernandez would have been here, I would assume that they would have named him, but I don't know. But it's certainly, and you wonder how the dynamics will play out going forward with Triano and Luke Lux.
Well, they can't be very happy.
That I was going to say. I mean, obviously there are going to be pros about it, but I'm sure that they would probably feel like they were passed over.
So, Jerry, we've talked about the results. How about the actions of getting there? Did you take any issue with the way the Kings fired Mike Brown?
Oh, sure. Yeah, that you got to have a little more class than that. I mean, you certainly had time if you're going to do something like that. Why go through practice and get ready to board a plane? Could called him into to make it a personal thing. Mike Malone, reading his statements, and I think Mike probably, he's got reason to feel bitter because he was done pretty much the same way, so there's that. But I just think there's always a better way of changing coaches. I always remember when Jeff Petrie changed from Paul Westphal, and Paul was such a classy guy, but it was something that, probably needed to happen. But he did it in I thought, a very professional way. And not that it makes the guy that's let go is always hurt regardless.
All right, let's talk about tonight's game. The thing that's impressed me the most and scares me the most is the assist to turnover ratio. 24 assists, only 3 turnovers for Sacramento, and yet they only lead by a point.
Yeah, but it is a case where I think the ball is moving very well. It's a case of the defense just not being any good at all on either
Terrible.
team. I mean, I think the offense for both teams is we're seeing good offense. We're seeing really soft defense, and of course both teams getting easy high percentage shots, and probably that's going to depend who wins the game if somebody will guard somebody for 5 minutes in the second half.
Yeah, Jerry, the Kings only got 3 back-to-back stops there in the first half, and as you said, the Lakers weren't much better. My concern is finesse over physicality. It does look like the players are not thinking as much and playing a little bit more. It's a little bit more free-flowing and there's more space, but you only get to the free throw line a handful of times compared to the Lakers and only once in the first quarter, Jerry.
Yeah, and you're not going to if you're basically going to take a lot of perimeter shots. So there is that. Lakers have been the more aggressive team going to the basket, going inside. Fortunately for the Kings, the Lakers missing the free throws, so there's that. But I think a key will be for Sabonis to stay out of foul trouble and try to go, get some baskets going inside. Putting some pressure on their defense inside, which Kings really haven't been able to do.
Yep. Yeah, Sabonis has got 3 fouls. Kings' three-point shooting has been just awful. Fox 0 of 5, Keegan Murray 1 of 4. It's just not very good. But again, they do lead. I don't have a good feeling about this second half, even though LeBron James is not on the floor, and that's certainly good news for Sacramento. But you have an assist to turnover ratio of 24-3, and you're only up by a point. That. I just can't see that continuing in the second half. I just can't.
Well, it's not likely to continue at that rate.
Right.
I do think they continue at a good rate because they're not being bothered.
Yeah.
I mean, they have to turn it over. The Lakers aren't forcing any.
Good point.
I think the Kings have a chance to win unless LeBron James decides to get dressed at halftime. So that would concern me. I'd want to make sure that he doesn't get out of the locker room, but because that could change the dynamics of this game.
Did you mean LeBron James or LeBron James Jr.? Just asking.
You know which one I meant.
Okay.
The other one wouldn't be a lot of a concern, to be honest with you.
What do you think's the number one key here in the second half, Jerry?
Well, I think just some ball pressure. They've really got to get up. And I mean, Reeves is a really good player, but he can be pressed, and if nothing else, get into him and turn him a few times before he gets to half court. They're getting into their offense too quick. So if nothing else, make sure when they're playing half court, they're starting their offense with about 12, 14 seconds on the clock, not 18.
Yeah, it's a great point, Jerry. I'm going to say the corners. The Kings have given up the corners way too easily up on defense. Rory Hachimura is killing them from there. Connect has been there a few times, so got to find a way to do better there on the half-court defense.
What about Dalton Connect? We're looking at him again, the rookie that the Kings and many other teams pass by. He comes off the bench and scores 11 points, Jerry.
Well, he's going to be really good. He's had a stretch already this season when he looked good, and then went through kind of a slump. But no, the kid's got everything you're looking for, and I think to his credit, I mean, without LeBron, he gets a little better chance to play with the ball a little bit. So, but yeah, he should have been taken in the top 7 or 8 for sure.
He doesn't need much space to get going, Jerry.
No, he's a big, strong guy, very athletic. Surprising, definitely is one of those guys you can see being a 20-point scorer in this league within a couple of years, probably.
What's been the difference in Anthony Davis against Sacramento this year? Because, up until this year, the Kings had bottled him up and won just about every game against Davis, and Davis never looked like himself. But this year in the games, this being the 4th and final game, he looks like the real Anthony Davis. And here in the first half, he had 17 points and 8 rebounds, Jerry.
Yeah, I think you can point it right to J.J. Redick. I mean, they go to him. He is the focal point of the offense, and LeBron, to his credit, has seeded some of that offensive pressure. But I mean, J.J.'s from day one. They're going to make sure that Anthony Davis is the hub of the offense, and he's tough to stop. Big, long, athletic guy, and it's good coaching.
Hit that one on the screws, and he's played in 3 games.
Yeah, can't call him, Mr. Street Clothes, Mr. Street Clothes anymore. And he played a lot last year, but he's the key to their team equally as much as LeBron.
Ryan, give me a final score tonight.
I'm going to say Lakers 117, Kings 115.
Well, I'm going to go 117, 113 Kings with DeRozan going for 35 today.
All right. I got the Lakers winning 120 to 112. Speaking of DeRozan, he played 20 minutes in that first half.
Yeah, obviously he was going really good, and that'll be interesting. But I think they've had a day off and everything, but he's getting really good shots and really not taking a lot of time with the ball. I've really liked that. Just getting into his spot and taking the shot.
Yep.
Yeah, go ahead, Ryan.
No, I was going to say 12 points in the second quarter. Definitely very good. Picked them up.
Yep. And I'm going to say this because we have a lot of people watching, and I am so tired of the Sacramento Kings being the laughingstock of the NBA. I really am, and I'm just like so over it. And Jerry, we've been through it all, right?
Yes, we
Right?
have. Yes,
But here, 2 years ago, this team had come out of the dark clouds and won 48 games and was the third seed. And you're like, thank goodness, finally. And here we are, not even 2 full years later, getting ready to turn the calendar to 2025. And the Kings are a joke. They're just a joke. And, all the coaches around the league are piling on the Kings. The media, it's a joke. It's just, you know what? It's freaking embarrassing. It really is. It's embarrassing.
Yeah, you just don't want to be the main topic of the league for negative reasons, and that's really what it is. And it's like last year the team came at won 46 games,
yes,
and had some key injuries at the end of the year. So there was no reason to think that this thing wasn't on the right track and would be on the right track for years to come. And I think that's what's so disappointing. And then of course I think the overreaction as far as changing coaches as quick as they did. I mean, and I certainly thought the way the team was performing, I think Coach Brown should have got some criticism, deserved some criticism, as any coach would.
Absolutely.
I just thought it's just way too quick a trigger compared to his record overall as a Kings coach.
Yeah. All right, Jerry, thank you very much. We appreciate it. Ryan, I look forward to having you on, and the phone calls. We'll see if the Kings can break this losing streak with a good second half. Thank you, everyone. We'll talk to you right after the game. Bye-bye.